And hello everybody, welcome to episode 20 of the GrowCast Show. And today I have with me Felicia, also known by many as Coach Feli. Coach Feli, also known as Felicia. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. Vicky, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you for asking. And Felicia, everybody has to answer this one question which I ask all of my guests, which is, what does being better than normal mean to you?
Being better than normal, what it means to me is when people have a lot of abundance to give, a lot of value to give to others, so they don't just exist solely for their own well-being, but also to add value to other people's lives.
Very nice. And what makes you better than normal?
What makes me better than normal, I think, is the fact that I have both the brain and the heart. And I have found a life purpose in business coaching, and I exist really to help other business owners gain freedom, both financially as well as their time, and to build businesses that can give them the life that they deserve.
Makes sense. And let's dive straight into it. What exactly is business coaching?
So business coaching is very common in a lot of countries, especially in the Western world, but unfortunately, it is not as common in Singapore. Business coaching is really to have a business coach guide you when you are running your business. A lot of business owners are very tied up in their day-to-day operations. So it is very hard to extract yourself to be strategic about growing your business. Most of the time, they just become the operations head on top of being the finance head, on top of being everything else. So having a business coach is like having an external party who knows how business should be run, who to guide you in your business journey, to make sure that you make less mistakes, achieve your results faster, and eventually really just to make the business more fun.
And who doesn't want a fun business, right? That's the whole
course.
idea of starting a business, right?
Definitely.
But what is the difference? I mean, like you said, in Singapore, it's not so common, right? What is the difference between a business coach and a business consultant?
I would say the main difference, a lot of people use them interchangeably, but I would say the main difference is the approach. So a business consultant is a lot more common in Singapore. And what a consultant does normally will be to take a look at your business, and then they will come up with like a prescription. So you just, Vicky, you do step 1, 2, 3. And then once the thing is finished, all right, off I go. So a coach focuses a lot on teaching you how to fish instead of giving you the fish. So a lot of the time, we focus on growing the person, growing the business owner, growing the team. And when the business owner grows, the business grows as well. And that change is supposed to be a permanent change, meaning even after you finish working with the coach, you should not go back to what you were before. There will already be a new normal, and this business owner should be able to handle a much larger team, much larger business, just based on the growth that they experience from working with the coach.
So it's like a transformation within the business owner and the business itself.
Exactly.
And why does somebody need a business coach? Why can't they just read a book or watch online courses?
So Vicky, then let me ask you a question. How many times have you read a book and implemented something 100%? How many times have you seen a video and then you know exactly what to do, and when you tried it, there's no problem at all? So it is always very useful to have someone who has seen how strategy should be implemented in many different businesses. And the fact that this is an external pair of eyes, you see, we can't see ourselves. Even me, when I run my business, I have a coach too. Because you can't see yourself. Sometimes we always have blind spots. And they are called blind spots for a certain reason, because they are blind spots. You really can't see everything that is happening when you are so tied up in the business. So having a coach gives you a different perspective, a different kind of idea, and they see things differently. And most of the time that result in a lot greater business outcomes.
Makes sense. And what are the top 3 benefits of business coaching with Business Multiplier?
So we always say that Business Multiplier coaching has 3 outcomes that we want. Number 1 is we want to multiply, not just grow, multiply your profit and revenue. Number 2 is we want to help you significantly increase your business value. And we do this by freeing up the business owner from the day-to-day stuff. Because the more dependent the business is on the owner, the less valuable it is, if that makes sense to you. The number 3 thing is the team. We make sure that you can build a team, retain the team, build the culture of the team so that this team will be a very productive one. And this team eventually should be able to run the business even when the owner is not around.
What makes Business Multiplier different from other business coaching or consulting companies?
Well, in the market, if you notice a lot of business coaching and consulting companies, they tend to focus on one area. If you see our logo, it looks like a multiply sign, but it is also hearts intersecting. It is because we are able to work on both sides. I call it the brain side of coaching, which are very numbers driven. What strategies do you want to deploy in your sales, in your marketing? Make sure that you make more money. As well as what systems do you want to put in? What are some of the KPIs for your people? How do you recruit the right people? How do you instill technology? How do you use technology in the business? And this is the brain side of stuff, but then you also have the heart side of stuff. The heart side of coaching involves how do you align the people in the business? How do you make the team very passionate about growing the business, as passionate as the business owner? How do you make sure that everybody gets along well and eventually they see themselves as rowing in the same boat towards the same direction? So a lot of the business coaching or consulting companies that I've seen only focus on one side, or they are better at one side. I would say that we are quite balanced. We are able to do both. And that is why we can achieve the multiples in the numbers.
Very nice. And Felicia, what are some of the tangible or intangible results, right, one can expect when they get business coaching from you?
All right, so maybe we start with the tangible ones first. The tangible ones, obviously the business will make a lot more money and profit. For example, one of our clients, real life case study, when we started, she has been running business for 7 years. She was not sure where to go next. She was making all right, like a bit of money, but not enough to significantly accumulate her wealth. So after 1 year plus of business coaching, we managed to triple her revenue. And not just that, on top of that, when we started, she only had 2 part-timers. And right now, she has a team of more than 30 people. She owns her own office. She has a retail space going from just a small online shop into having all these assets. That's a very tangible thing. Obviously, we also have other clients who have similar kind of success. Now, the intangible, though, is the quality of life. Because a lot of business owners in Singapore, I don't know whether you realize this, they will sacrifice their own personal life and well-being, sometimes even time with family, for the business. In Business Multiplier, what we believe is that business owners should be able to build businesses that give them the dream life that they deserve, that give them all the time they want to spend with their loved ones. And they should never sacrifice their personal life for the business. So the intangible benefit is one of my clients used to get scolding from the wife whenever he goes on family holiday because guess what? The phone doesn't stop ringing. It just was firefighting constantly whenever he was away. And he told me now after a couple of years of coaching, when he went on the most recent family holiday, the phone did not ring at all for any firefighting. And if you think about it, that quality of life, people may say it's intangible, but sometimes it is more important than just the money. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree. I totally agree. Makes so much sense, right? And it's amazing to see the different types of results you're able to get. But is business coaching, maybe if I could ask it, if a business owner is not intending to sell, then why should they be concerned about the business valuation?
So this is one concept that a lot of people don't really think about because a lot of business owners started their business out of passion. They like it, they enjoy doing it, so they think that instead of just making it a hobby, they should make it a business. But they don't really have an end goal in mind. So what happens is when you don't start with the end goal in mind, you will then run your business until one day you decide you are too tired to run the business anymore. And then what happens? Some people close it down, let it die a natural death. So what we advocate is, even if you don't intend to sell today, you should still build a valuable and sellable business. Because in case something happens to the owner, in case the owner wants to retire 20 years later, if the business is valuable and sellable, it then becomes a monetizable asset that can then be sold and the money can be used for your retirement, your family, the next generation, and everything else. So no matter what, whether you're intending to sell or don't intend to sell any near future, you still want to build the valuable and sellable company.
And, Felicia, like what you said, there are so many business owners, they're so busy in their day-to-day, they cannot really do something else. So what if a business owner is too busy for coaching?
Well, when they are too busy for coaching, let's look at the root cause. Most probably it's either a people issue, a system issue, or it's the owner issue. Maybe if I draw the organization chart, this is the CEO, finance, HR, operations. Where do you think they are?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. And this is something where the longer you run the business that way, do you think they will get busier or less busy?
No.
Will probably get worse. And unless they have guidance on how to extract themselves box by box, row by row, it may last forever until one day they are burnt out. And when they are burnt out, that's the end. Because then you don't have the energy to fight anymore. So if you are a business owner who is too busy for coaching, then I will say, maybe you have to change your mindset. Maybe you even need this coaching so you will be then less busy in the future. And if you handle it a bit too late, it will be more difficult.
Then that's the irony of it, like what you said, right? So if you're too busy, that's when you know you actually need it. Also, maybe can we talk a little bit more about specifically business coaching, right? How can business coaching help a business owner in Singapore to grow their business?
Well, the thing is, a lot of business owners are very good in one or two things. And having a business coach is like having someone else to complement your skills. And this person also normally comes with the network. Like in our case, we have the network, we have the framework, we have a structured approach. So you just really need to follow the steps. Then you don't really leave your success into will it happen or will it not happen. It is just a matter of time and how fast you can go. And the other thing is sometimes being a business owner, it can be quite lonely. Don't you agree? Because if there are challenges in the business, who do you go for? Do you talk to your people? Oh no, our business is in trouble. You can't do that. And when you have someone who will always have the answer to your questions, who gives you that support and the accountability, that's when you accelerate your results.
That makes perfect sense. And who would be the best candidate for business coaching?
Wow. So this is like my dream client, right? So the best candidate for business coaching is someone who wants to grow. When there's no desire to grow, we can't help. The other thing is someone who is open to changes. There are cases where a business owner wanted to work with us, but he was so filled with apprehension, and despite our reassurances, he just did not want to change the way things are done. Well, if the previous way was not working and you refuse to change, then it's very hard for us to drive results. So the best ideal candidate, desire to grow, openness to change, and the other thing is the discipline and accountability. When they are willing to be held accountable, even though they are the boss. Nobody dares to hold them accountable in the company, but the coach has to do that. That's what we are paid for. And because of that, things get done. Most of the time, business owners want to do 10,001 things. But when there's no structure and there's no one holding them accountable, months go by and nothing gets done. But in fact, it is more effective to do one thing every week than to try and to do the 10,001 things in one go.
I like it. And what problems have you helped your clients to solve?
The problems we have helped the clients to solve, it starts from lack of sales, usual thing. And lack of sales can be a result of a few things. It might be a marketing issue, but a lot of the times, the one that we really, really love to solve for the clients is a sales conversion issue. So they spend a lot of money on leads, on marketing, but their people can't sell. So this is one where we come in very handy because we have helped a client triple their sales conversion rate, which of course results in triple sales. After that, then we work on how they can up the transaction frequency, up the deal size, and over time we see profits multiplying. We have seen our best results is like 5 times revenue in 1 year. And this happens when we meet our ideal type of clients. They are willing to work with our strategies. And the other thing is also the growing of the team. There are business owners who have tried very hard to grow the team, but they just seem to be getting the wrong people all the time. So we come with our recruitment framework. We help the business owners get clarity on what kind of culture they want to build, what kind of team members that need to be on board. And we even guide them through the recruitment process. And that resulted in some of them having teams that can run the business without them.
And that's the perfect situation.
That's the perfect
like
scenario.
you said, right?
Yep. So you will never be in danger of, oh, I need to sell my business. I need to close it down because, hey, it's just a matter of when you want to monetize it.
And I mean, that's some amazing results that you've got. But what is the typical average time it takes to get results from business coaching with you?
Wow. So 2024 has been very good because my first coaching session of the year, one of my clients reported to me that within 3 months of coaching, she has doubled her monthly revenue. So if you ask me, is that fast enough? But of course, it varies because if, let's say, the clients come to us and they have a lot of issues, they have people attrition issues, they have profit issues, they have marketing issues, then it takes time to clean up. The analogy that I will always use is if someone is very far underwater, it takes some time to make the person be able to fly. But if the person is already on the surface or slightly above, it's very fast to make them fly. So we have seen results as fast as 2 to 3 months. Some results takes 1 to 2 years. But in any case, we always see progress as long as they follow the steps and are willing to be held accountable.
Makes sense. And because there are not many people understand what business coaching is all about, right? So how can a business owner find out more about business coaching before committing?
Well, my simple answer is talk to us. We don't believe in forcing anyone to come on board the journey with us. In fact, our coaching has no lock-in period. And we start with this diagnostics process. We will ask you a bunch of questions. We have a system to assess where you are at this moment. It's almost like a business health check. And only if we find that we have a common goal, we have value to add, or the business owner also feels that they have a problem that they need help with, then we will embark on the journey. So just talk to us. If we are not the right people to help you, we will be happy to recommend you to someone else. But if we feel that you are a suitable client for business coaching, we are confident in driving results, then we are more than happy to bring you on board.
Very nice. Is there a minimum size for the business to get started with the business coaching program?
I wouldn't say so because I used to think that, I want to work with businesses minimum of $500,000, blah, blah, blah. But then we have brought clients below 100,000 to a few 100,000 within a year. We have brought people who start off with just a husband and wife team to now having a team of more than 10 people. So I would say that right now we don't really have a fixed thing. And plus, we do have different offerings depending on what stage of business you are at. So if you are still early, you just want to learn, we also have some offering for that. Less hands-on, it's more for you to learn in a structured approach. Yeah, but then of course, if you're already at the stage that you are ready to fly, you want to grow massively, then it excites us to work with you because then it will make our life very easy.
Makes sense. And if people are intending to, because some businesses, they buy and they run the business where they want to sell. Some, like you say, they do it out of passion, right? But what if a business owner is intending to sell their business in the next 1 year or 3 years? Do they still need business coaching?
Well, then again, it depends on what's the reason to sell. But no matter what, when a business owner wants to sell, obviously then they want to get some money out of it. And I will always encourage to have a chat with us first because we would then assess where you are at. Are you in the best position to sell? For example, if your business is currently bleeding money, do you think you can get a lot of money from selling your business? That is even if you can get someone to want to buy a bleeding business. So when you work with us, what happens is if you tell us, hey, Fel, I want to sell my business in 3 years, what can I do? Then we try within that 3 years time frame to get you in the best position. So even when you sell, then you get a decent amount of returns for the years of hard work that you have put in. You don't want to spend 10 years building a business just to end up with almost nothing. So I still encourage you, have a chat with us. We'll help you assess where it is and see how we can get you, like I said, to the best position possible in time to when you want to sell.
Very nice, Fel. So do business coaches only work with business owners?
It depends. If the owner just wants us to work with the owner, that's fine. What usually happens with a lot of our clients, we start off with the owner. After some time, they were like, hey, Fel, I'm trying to grow this. My people are not listening to me. I need to build managers, but the manager doesn't listen to me. Can you then come and help? So then we will deploy our team to also work with the team. Because it is a little bit like when you are a parent and you nag your child. Do they always listen? So again, when it comes from the owner themselves, sometimes the manager who has been with them for a while may not always listen, which was the case for one of our clients because this employee has been with her for 10, 20 years. So when the boss nags, it goes like that. And then when the coach comes in, suddenly she listens. Yeah, so it is depending on what is the outcome that they want and what is the situation in the business. If we have to jump and work with the team to achieve the outcome, we can do that as well.
Perfect. And how do I choose the right business coach for me?
So for us, it is a little bit of number one, do they have track record? Do they have success stories helping business owners like you? Number two is it is a bit of a chemistry. So for us, we have also worked with clients who, after a few months, we find that it was not a good fit, very different values. And we don't force the relationship. We would rather wish you well. Maybe you are more suitable with someone else. But for me, like alignment of values, as well as the track record of having produced results, helping a business like yours. And the other thing is, I think you have to feel comfortable. So I do encourage that people do speak to coaches and see what it's like during that conversation. And if you can feel like you are comfortable with this person journeying with you, and it has to be a face that you want to see for the next 1 year or two, because coaching is not an overnight success type of story. Yeah. So how comfortable you are, aligned values, track record of success, I would say are the top 3 factors.
Makes perfect sense as well. But also in terms of timing, Fel, when is the best time to hire a business coach?
I feel that the best time is when you are ready for progress, for a change. Because if you are still not ready to change, if you do not have any desire to grow, I think coaching can be a waste of money. Yeah. And it's difficult for the coach and it's difficult for you too, because then you'll be very resistant to everything. But when you feel that, hey, you know what? I've brought the business from the beginning to where it is now, and it has been plateauing, it has been stagnant, and it's time really for a breakthrough, that is the best time for you to talk to a coach.
And is business coaching expensive?
Expensive, I always say, is relative. It is a matter of investment ROI. So if I tell you, hey, Vicky, working with me based on our client's track record have brought a lot of 6-figure business to 7-figure, how much would you invest to bring your business from 6-figure to 7-figure?
It's a very good amount.
Yeah, how much would you invest to bring from a 6-figure to a 7-figure?
I don't know, 10,000, 20,000.
Yeah. So we don't charge a lot more than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a lock-in period?
We don't believe in lock-in period. So either party can stop the coaching relationship with a 30 days written notice. And we do it this way because, like I said, coaching is like a relationship. You can't really force it. So as long as you still feel there's value in working with us, as long as we feel that we have value to add, then we can continue. I have clients who invited us just for a 3-month thing with a very specific problem to solve. But we have clients who have been with us since I started the company, just because there are different focus areas. In the first year, it was about growing profit. Year number 2, it was about building the team. Year number 3, it was building the system. So there's always new things to focus on until you can hit the end goal.
Very nice. And how can the business coach understand the business if they are not from the same industry?
Well, in fact, we have seen that when the coach is not from the same industry, it is more effective. Isn't that interesting? Because when the coach is from your industry, they will have a lot of preconceived notions and a lot of like past histories that may be clouding their judgment. So in fact, when they are from a different industry, they bring very fresh perspective and they don't have all this preconceived notion to block their sight. They just see your business and what's happening as it is. And most of the time, then they can pinpoint what's happening and what needs to be done about it.
Very nice. And how can I guarantee that business coaching will work for me?
Well, you can guarantee that business coaching will work by being disciplined, being accountable, being open to change, and putting in effort in your learning and as well as implementing the strategies. Because you can... There are different types. Like there are business owners that I've worked with in the past who love the knowledge part. Oh, File, I've learned so much during the session. And then they go back, they don't implement anything. Well, then how can we guarantee success if you don't do the work? And then there are those that feel like, no, you teach me enough. Let me do. But then they don't want to learn new things. They don't want to try new strategies. So after a while, things also stagnate. So I would say that you have to have a little bit of both.
And Fel, how long does business coaching typically last on average?
I don't think that there's really an average, because I have seen people who just buy our 12 weeks program with a specific objective in mind, working with the team, working with a marketing department. But then I've also seen clients who have been with me since I started the company until now, because there are different stages. We have this flowery looking thing, our framework, where first we built the foundation. And some businesses come to us, it's still messy, a lot of things are not working well. That's the foundation stage. And then once the foundation is already strong, then you want to bring them to the feeding the growth stage. So the feeding the growth is when you see the big money coming in. And that sometimes takes a year or two to really bring it to the number that we want. And then it will be the flourish, because then the systems are in place and it's sort of auto running. Then obviously the final stage is when then you decide, what do you want to do with the business? Do you just want to let it run for passive income? Do you want to monetize it and start another business? It gets very fun. But which is why, like I said, business coaching doesn't really have a fixed time frame. It starts from how many weeks? 12 weeks, all the way until many years.
Makes sense. And what are the different tiers of coaching that Business Multiplier provides?
Well, we have, for the brain side of coaching, we have the self-serve program where people just do a lot of video learning. Then we have like monthly coaching calls in a group setting. We have for smaller businesses who are just starting but want to have a bit more accountability, we can group a few of them and then it will be like a group coaching thing. Our most popular program is a one-on-one coaching program where we work with the business owner. And the last tier is when we can customize a package. Obviously, then government grant comes into play because sometimes the intervention requires working with the business owner, with the leaders in the business, even down to the sales team. One of the popular intervention that we always get is when companies approach us to help build the sales team, meaning we work with the recruitment. We coach the managers on how to recruit all the way until making sure that the salespeople are productive. On the hard side of coaching, again, we have different tiers depending on how long they want us to work with the team, what is the outcome. Essentially, whatever problem, whatever business, just come and talk to us. Then I think we'll be able to point you to the right direction.
Very nice. And I think you get this question quite a lot. The one I'm about to ask is, if my business is suffering a loss, can you come in and save it?
Have we saved businesses that are suffering a loss? The answer is yes. Probably more times than I would like. Like, we love working with businesses that are good to great. But in reality, a lot of business comes to us because the owner is bruised and battered, trying to make ends meet. The accounts have been in the red for a while. Have we saved quite a few of these businesses? The answer is yes. In fact, I think that is probably the case for more than half of our clients, where they started off with very little or no profit. And then now they are paying maybe the most income tax they have ever paid for many, many years. Like I say, it's not my favorite type of business to work with, but it seems to be the most common because maybe that's when people say, oh, I've tried doing it by myself. It doesn't work. Maybe someone else can help me. Yeah.
And that's when they come to you, right?
That's when they come to us. Mm-hmm. So even though it is not the easiest to turn around, it is the most fulfilling for us because we have seen the client who started off with losing money every month and losing quite significantly. And we have brought them to not losing money within 2 to 3 months.
Very nice. And my last question that I have for you, Fel, before we wrap it up is, what if the business owner wants to grow, but their team is not supportive?
In fact, again, this is a common issue, Vicky. Again, I go back to the parent-child nagging thing. When my mom nags me about something, it just becomes that voice in my head, but I may or may not do something about it. Then maybe you should come talk to us and let us talk to your team members. And we have seen this in one of our clients. It is a very mature business, 20-something-year-old. The owners have tried all sorts of ways to mentor the team, mentor the leaders, but it didn't really seem to have the end result that they wanted. And then they parachute us to talk to the team, and we implemented our 12-week team coaching program. And the year after that 12 weeks, they had the most number of sales performers they ever had in 10 years.
Wow. Very nice. And that was Felicia. I learned so much today, and I think we covered quite a lot as well. And Coach Fel, is there anything else that you would like to, is there any question that I should have asked that I didn't ask, or is there anything else that you would like us to know?
I think this is just my encouragement, really, from all our business owner friends. If you feel that you are a little bit tired in the business, if you feel that business is not fun anymore, we believe that for business owners, your business, you have the 3 Fs. F for Felicia. No, the 3 Fs: fun, fruitful, fulfilling. If the business is not fun and you feel like you're dragging your feet to work, then maybe something needs to be done. If the business is not fruitful, you put in a lot of effort, but then at the end of the day, you feel guilty even drawing your own money, drawing your own income from the business. Definitely then something is wrong. The other thing is fulfilling. We like to build fulfilling businesses. And when the business have this 3F, life, it can be very, very different. So my encouragement is don't settle, because you really deserve to have the business that can build your dream life and not the other way around.
Very nice. And if you want your dream life as a business owner, you know who to look for. And that was episode 20 of the GrowCast Show. I will see all of you real soon. Signing out.